Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. This video was a comment request that I saw from one of you guys several months ago that I've had in the back of my head ever since because it's a genius idea. I really wish I screenshotted that original comment so that I could give you credit. You'll know who you are when I explain what this video is, which I'm gonna do right now. So that comment asked if I would ever film a video called What Would Abby Do?, where I read through beauty scenarios that you guys are currently going through and share my thoughts on what I would do if I was in that situation. And I love that idea because I feel like it allows me to be even more helpful than when I answer questions about my specific routines. So let's jump on into it. Question number one is, I'm using retinol. When do I know when it's time to switch to retinol or tretinoin? I get this question all the time, and I did intentionally pick questions that I get often so that I could try to help as many of you as possible all at once. When I first started my retinoid journey, I actually started with Differin, and I knew that I was ready for tretinoin when I was able to use Differin every single night without irritation. So I was able to go directly from Differin to 0.025% tretinoin without issue, but if you have incredibly dry, sensitive skin, it may be best for you to go from retinol to retinal. Retinal is the short name for retinaldehyde, by the way, if you're not familiar with that, but same thing there. Once you're able to use that every single night without issue, then I would say it's definitely time to find a dermatologist or use one of the online platforms that I've recommended, like Apostrophe, Agency, Curology, and go through their online consultation process to get tretinoin that way. But I do think it's important to note that even if you're able to apply retinol or retinaldehyde without issue, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have irritation when you first start using tretinoin, because tretinoin is potent as heck. So just know that that's normal and to be expected, and not a sign that you started using tretinoin too soon, because everybody I know that has switched from some form of a less potent retinol to tretinoin has experienced at least a little bit of irritation or flaking or peeling. And if you would like some tips on how to use tretinoin in a way that is the least irritating to your skin, I'm going to list a video below where I talk through all of the tretinoin tips and tricks that I wish I knew when I started tretinoin day one. Next, what should I do if I have an itchy scalp but I don't have eczema, psoriasis, or any other scalp condition? There are a few different things to consider when trying to figure out how to deal with an itchy scalp. That shampoo may have ingredients in it that are irritating to your scalp. Some people do experience itchiness and irritation when using shampoos that have a high amount of sulfates in them. So if your shampoo is very heavily sulfate based, meaning that the first few ingredients are sulfates like sodium lauryl sulfate, that may be why, and you may want to try something gentler that has different primary cleansing agents to see if that solves the problem. On the flip side, if your shampoo doesn't contain ingredients like that, your scalp may be feeling itchy because you're not properly cleansing it. So if that's the case, I would definitely recommend testing out a clarifying shampoo like Whey Detox, K18 Detox, or just something from the drugstore. I really love the Kristen S Deep Clean Clarifying Shampoo, or I recently tried the Pantene Volume Shampoo, and that is great for clarifying. If the shampoo that you're using doesn't seem to be the cause of itch, meaning that right after you use it, your scalp isn't itchy, but several days after washing it is, then that is probably a sign that you just need to cleanse your scalp more often to provide relief from that itch. That's actually the main reason why I started shampooing twice a week instead of once a week. I was just experiencing more itch than I previously had, and I wanted to see if washing my hair another day would help to get rid of that, and it did. Ever since then, I have not had any itch, which is amazing. And if you do all of those things but still feel like you have a little bit of an itchy scalp, then I would definitely recommend looking into scalp exfoliants. Using leave-on scalp exfoliants is a great way to exfoliate the scalp, remove excess sebum, help to kind of slough off those flakes, and relieve itch. So the Inkey List has a great salicylic acid scalp treatment. Briogeo also has an entire line of scalp products. I'll list all the products I talk about in the description box below, of course, but that line definitely has some really nice products that help to relieve itch. So specifically their newer Mega Strength shampoo in that range is great. I have hormonal acne on my chin and jawline. Have you ever dealt with this? What tips do you have aside from tretinoin? Boy, have I ever. Those of you that watch my videos often will know that I am very acne prone, and I started experiencing hormonal acne for the first time when I was about 22 years old. And I feel like it just blew up very quickly to the point where I was never without several cystic breakouts in my chin, jawline region, and around my mouth. So tretinoin is definitely my number one tip, but but something else that may be really helpful to you is using tretinoin that has spironolactone mixed in with it. Apostrophe is the only brand that I have personally been able to find that does that, where you can just get one prescription that contains both of those ingredients. So definitely check out Apostrophe, because spironolactone is an anti-androgen, so it's an ingredient that's going to help to suppress those hormones that contribute to the formation of acne. You can also look to include other exfoliants into your routine, so things like beta hydroxy acids, but be really careful in doing that because tretinoin, of course, is a very irritating ingredient. So if you're going to add more irritating ingredients on top of that, you may just end up with really inflamed, irritated skin. The last thing I'd recommend is a light therapy device, which is actually the next question. So I guess I'll just go into that. I want to try red light therapy. Do you recommend it? Do you have any device recommendations? So yes, I definitely recommend red light therapy. I actually have an entire video talking all about it, the benefits, how it works, things to look for in a light therapy mask. That is going to be listed below. The brand that I recommend that I really love is Current Body, and I do have a 15% off discount with a brand that's going to be listed below as well, because red light therapy is super expensive, or at least if you're buying a quality red light therapy mask, those devices are expensive. So I'm glad I have a discount code for you guys. Red light therapy is incredible for anti-aging. It helps with wrinkles, fine lines, it helps to boost collagen production, it makes your skin super glowy and bouncy, it's amazing. And it also helps with inflammation, so that can be really helpful if you have hormonal acne. It can help to decrease inflammation and irritation as well. But blue light therapy is actually something that has been shown to help to kill that acne bacteria on the skin, so you may want to look into a mask that has both blue and red lights combined. Oh man, the debate of the century. Should I air dry or blow dry my hair? This is completely up to you. Both air drying and blow drying are damaging to the hair, and whenever I say that, people get so thrown off, like on Reels and TikTok. You guys know the drill here. But whenever I post videos about this topic, I see so many angry comments like, air drying isn't damaging, what are you talking about? And unfortunately, it is. And there are two reasons for that. The first reason is that when our hair is wet, it's very fragile and more susceptible to breakage as a result. But the second reason is that water causes our hair to swell and causes high growth fatigue. This causes our cuticle to lift and inevitably causes damage. Unfortunately, there's just not enough research out there to definitively prove whether or not air drying or heat drying is worse for the hair, because of course heat drying is damaging as well. There's actually a study that I have talked about before that says that while heat drying, yes, still is going to damage your hair, it may be less damaging than air drying if you are blow drying with your blow dryer a certain distance away from the hair. I think it's 15 centimeters. Let me just double check. Yes, it's 15 centimeters with continuous motion. So instead of holding it really up close and holding it in place, you'd have to hold it 15 centimeters away and move continuously. So this is just totally up to personal preference. I know some of you have super frizzy hair that needs to be blow dried immediately, and if that's the case, you got to do what works best for you. What I personally like to do is air dry my hair for about 2 to 3 hours until it's 80% dry-ish, 80-85%, and then I will finish up with a blow dryer at the end. What do I do if my hair feels very dry quickly? Should I wash it more? I don't think washing it more is going to help you unless you feel like you have a lot of product buildup on the hair. That is actually something that can make your hair feel dry and stiff, so you would have to try to use a clarifying shampoo that does a really good job at removing buildup to see if that helps. But my guess is that that's probably not the case here. What I would recommend is using oils post-wash. So I would apply oil on your lengths and ends after styling, and also a couple days after washing to recondition, help to detangle, etc. That makes the biggest difference for me, and it instantly takes hair that feels dry to hair that feels nice and conditioned. Also, don't forget to use a pre-shampoo oil treatment. I really feel like that makes a huge difference in how dry my hair feels after washing. Oils, baby. What ingredients should I look for in skincare for anti-aging? Retinoids for sure. Tretinoin is my top recommendation, but again, you may want to start off with retinol or retinaldehyde. Sunscreen, 1000%. You have to be applying sunscreen daily, especially if you're using all of these active ingredients like tretinoin or maybe other exfoliants. You don't want to be going to all that work and spending all of that money to just step out in the sun and reverse all the progress you've made. So my top 2 recommendations are definitely tretinoin and sunscreen, but beyond that, I would recommend looking into antioxidant serums and potentially chemical exfoliants if your skin can tolerate it. There are a lot of different antioxidant serums out there. Vitamin C is definitely one of the most proven antioxidant ingredients. I personally don't use it anymore because I saw better results in using the Ordinary's Buffet Plus Copper peptides. That also can contains antioxidants, so I feel good with using that as my antioxidant support. But if you wanted to use both vitamin C and copper peptides, you just alternate mornings using them. And in terms of chemical exfoliants, glycolic acid is definitely going to be the most potent and beneficial for anti-aging purposes, so that would be my recommendation. But again, it may be too irritating for you with that tretinoin, so it's just totally going to be up to your skin. I have tons of flyaways from hair regrowth. How do I combat them? Whether you have flyaways from regrowth or breakage, I would definitely recommend some sort of wax stick or pomade. I definitely find these to work the best. This one is the TIGI Bedhead Wax Stick. I'll see ripped off the label. This is so hassle-free to use. You literally just do this on your hair. I have definitely shown this before and it's great, but I do find that this one from Way is even better. This is the matte pomade. It's super thick, but you only need the tiniest bit. So this will literally last you forever. A very little goes a very long way. I'll just like warm it between my fingers like that. Like, see how little is on there? And then I will go ahead and smooth those down. I just stopped using clean hair care. Where do I start now? Oh my gosh, congratulations and welcome. There are a few brands / lines that I would recommend starting with because I love them so much. I've used them for years and they've never done me wrong. Pureology Strength Cure and Pureology Color Fanatic are amazing. K18, so good. Redken Acidic Bonding Concentrate and Amika the Cure. Of course, there are tons of other amazing products out there, so what I would say is most important is just testing things out and seeing how they work for your hair and not getting sucked into marketing or what people on social media are saying about those products, which seems like you are on the right track for, given that you have stopped using clean hair care. And even if a brand isn't clean, it just may not agree with your hair type, so that's something that I would just be potentially prepared for in testing out new products. There are products out there that I'll try that I would think I'd love, but they just don't quite work for me in my hair. Or I have definitely seen comments from you guys like, oh, I tested this product that you love so much and it just didn't really work for me. And that's just the name of the game with hair care. We all have such different scalp and hair needs, so in order to know if a product is going to work, you really do just have to test it out. But those are the brands I would recommend starting with for sure. And if you want some more guidance, I do have a hair guide that is in the description boxes of all of my videos. That hair guide details my wash day routine, my post-wash styling routine, and my between wash routine. And I have several product recommendations in that guide and at different price points as well. All right, last question. I'm a single mom. I need an affordable shampoo, conditioner, hair mask, and oil. Please help. First of all, nothing but the utmost respect for you and for all single moms out there. In being a single puppy mom, it has made me think about single moms so much, and I'm just in awe of single moms. You guys are literally superheroes because caring for a puppy all by myself has been so much work and so exhausting. I honestly, wow. It's a lot for me to try to imagine having a baby all by myself as well. Like, oh my goodness. So I bow down to you. My top recommendation for an affordable shampoo and conditioner is definitely the L'Oreal Everpure Bond Strengthening range. That is my personal favorite from the drugstore. However, that shampoo is not the best for clarifying. So if you also would like a clarifying shampoo, if you have a really oily scalp, then I would go for, again, either Kristen S Deep Clean Clarifying or Pantene Volume. For a hair mask, I would recommend the Eva NYC Therapy Hair Mask. It's really thick and nourishing and just coats and conditions the hair beautifully. And for a hair oil, I love the OGX Coconut Miracle Oil for a pre-shampoo oil treatment, but for post-wash oils, like for styling purposes, I really like the Moroccan Oil Mist that OGX has. Heritage by Mindy has an argan oil that's really nice for styling purposes too. It's nice and lightweight and silky. Or Nature Lab Tokyo also has an oil mist that I really love. I hope that that helps, and again, oh my god, just nothing but respect for you. You freaking go, girl. All right, you guys, those are all of the questions that I wanted to answer for part 1 of What Would Abby Do? If you would like to see a part 2, let me know in the comments below, and definitely make sure to follow me on Instagram because that is where I ask you guys what your questions are and write them all down just from that little question box. That just tends to be the easiest for me to keep things organized. But if you enjoyed the video and found it helpful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing those things. It truly means the world. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days. But until then, I hope you have a great few days.